All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Ethan. I'm a member of the KN Wildlife team, which is part of the Proto-OKN project. Want to talk a bit today about tutorial of the KN Wildlife user portal. So first, we're going to go over kind of the background on the KN Wildlife project and the underlying database knowledge graph. Then I want to go into the user portal and the purpose and the scope of the tool. I want to go over some of the major features of the portal and then go into a demo of the portal itself. And then I want to talk about features that we're really excited about and future directions for the project. So the KN Wildlife Project is part of the larger NSF Proto-OKN project. And we're tasked with creating a knowledge graph database of ecological occurrence, abundance, and density data, which I will refer to as wildlife data for the remainder of this presentation because it's less of a mouthful. We build the database on Neo4j, which is a graphical database framework, which allows us to efficiently store large amounts of data in a unified format. And we can, part of this project also is allowing users to easily integrate these data with other environmental covariates. And then we also want to connect this database and integrate with other projects from the Proto-OKN initiative. So here is the underlying database structure. So the central nodes in our database are the observation nodes or the sampling events, which for an ecologist is the level of statistical replication. And so we have these observation nodes, and then within the observations, you have species that were detected in the sample. You have the location from which the sample was collected. Then you have the data set that the sample is from. And this is a very easily scalable framework. So we can easily take any data set, and those data sets have sampling events, which have locations, and which contain organisms. And so it's very easy to add new nodes, and it's a very flexible format for scaling a large database of wildlife knowledge. And so that's a brief overview of the database. There will likely be more in-depth description of our Neo4j database in another video. So I'm here to talk mostly about the user portal, which I've been developing with the KN Wildlife team for the last few months. And this is intended to create an intuitive way for users to interact with our knowledge graph and download data for research purposes or just visualize it, whatever they want to do. So, like I said, the idea is to create a central hub for these wildlife data, which can be occurrence, abundance, and density data. However, the process of using these data and collating them for research can often be very time consuming. So by working on this KN wildlife database, we our purpose is to save researchers and managers and whoever uses these data the time of gathering the data from a bunch of different sources and having to join those data with environmental covariates. That can be a very time-consuming time for research. And we want people to be able to focus on their purpose, their research with the data, and not have to spend a lot of time with data management and data cleaning. We also are planning to integrate a LLM-based chatbot to support natural language queries of the data and just support users in understanding the data, the limitations, the assumptions that come with using the data. And ultimately, our goal is to support ecologists and managers and whoever needs these data in their data discovery and retrieval process. And so people can ultimately not waste time with just the process of wrangling data and getting it into good shape for their purposes. And so now I'm going to go over to a brief overview of the portal and then jump into a demo. So currently, this is what the user portal looks like. I want to go into some of the query options. that are available for searching our wildlife database. So there are options for users to search by taxonomy, location, time, or dataset. And there's also two different types of search. So there's a hierarchical and a non-hierarchical search. And what I mean by that is that sometimes when you're searching through data by taxonomy, you want to filter your search options within the taxonomic hierarchy. So a non-hierarchical search will just return every single search option that you have, whether it's in completely different taxonomic categories, like you can move laterally across taxonomy, and all of the selections that you make will be returned. Hierarchical search, the search options will be filtered as you select them. So when you select an order, the next search option, you'll only be able to see the families within that order, and then you'll only be able to see the genera within that family. And then when you actually search for the data and retrieve the data, it'll only return the data for the lowest category of taxonomy, which in this case is the genus. And then the search by location feature works the exact same way. So you can search by states and counties. We're hoping to scale the database globally at a certain point. So, soon this will be nested also within country or province. And so it works the exact same way. So if you select Arizona, you're only going to be able to see counties within Arizona. But if you don't have hierarchical search selected, then you'll just return all the states and counties that you've selected, regardless of the hierarchy. And then there's also a option to search by specific coordinate ranges. So minimum and maximum latitude and longitude. And that will entirely constrain the search results that you have. So it will exclude any other selections you've made that don't fall within those coordinates. And so the portal provides a number of ways to visualize the data, including the default view, which is the map view, the knowledge graph view, which is a representation or a replication of our underlying Neo4j database, which shows the nodes and the relationships exactly as they are stored within the database. So if you're interested in learning more about how we actually have structured the knowledge graph, this is the view for you. And this is built using the Cytoscape.js library, which if you're interested in visualizing knowledge graphs on a client-side application, this is the library for you. And then finally, the tabular view, which is also the preview of exactly how the data will look when you download them. So now I'm going to hop into a demo of the actual website. Pull that up right here. And so let's go through a couple different searches just to show some of the different options you have for querying the wildlife database. So let's just select a single genus, Acris. And as you can see, you can zoom in on all the locations that the genus Acris has been detected. You can click and get summaries of the different locations. You can view the data in tabular format, and this is exactly what the data will look like when you download them. And so if you want to download, you just click this download data as CSV button, and voila, there you go. And then I'm not going to click on the knowledge graph view because that can take a while to load. So I'm going to click a smaller query and then go to the knowledge graph. And as you can see, this is exactly how the data are formatted in the database. And you can click on each node and see the different properties that are stored within the nodes. And then there are a bunch of other search options here that I'm not going to go over, but I just wanted to go explain how navigating the website works. Another feature we're really excited about is the collaboration that we want to have with the ecological community. We have a bunch of templates that we've put down here in the GitHub section that will allow users to suggest new features, to report any errors in taxonomy. As many ecologists know, taxonomy is an ever-evolving beast, so we want to have a way for users to detect taxonomic errors and report them. So as you can see, we've put together this template where if you see taxonomy that just doesn't look correct, you just write down how it looks in the database, write how it should look, and then provide sources so that we can quality check the reported taxonomic error. And then we have all these, you can report bugs and suggest new features that you find exciting. And yeah, so we're really excited about that community engagement aspect of this. So that's the user portal. And then I wanted to quickly go over some features that we're really excited about as well. So currently the website is in a public alpha phase, but we're excited to get the full thing going. So in the near future, you'll be able to automatically join the wildlife data with relevant covariates, including bioclimatic data, land use, land cover, species, native invasive status, and whatever else we end up putting in there. And then we're really excited about the LLM AI chatbot that will support users in natural language queries and actually guidance on data usage and statistical analysis. We intend to train the chatbot on the assumptions and limitations and the design of the data sets that we add into the database so that the agent will be able to give correct guidance on how to use these data. And then as always, we want to continue scaling the wildlife database. So if you have any data sets that you think would be a good addition to the KN Wildlife Network, please report it on this GitHub template.